Welcome, cartel members. Today I am fed up with all the Brendan Schaub hate. So today I'm going to be simping for Schaub, alright? I am frustrated, to say the least, with all the lame jokes being repeated. How many times are we going to hear these wannabe comedians throw out CTE, he mumbled a word, CTE, I mean, Christ almighty, people. And it's not just that. Okay, I'm gonna go and start this new series on my channel, and I'm gonna be aiming my hyper super critical eye, just like they do, to Brendan Schaub. I'm gonna do the same thing to them. Okay, and it's gonna get redonkulous, and you're gonna see why Brendan Schaub says only the losers and haters are the ones hating on him. Really, nobody really has a valid reason. My man Brendan Schaub is funny. Fuck y'all if you don't think he is. And I don't mean like, I'm dying laughing from laughter every time I see him. I don't even think I watch his special in its entirety. But generally, in general conversation, my man's funnier than Joe Rogan. Facts. Now, these are facts. There's tons of videos about Joe Rogan not being funny live, off the cuff. But my man Brendan Schaub over here certainly is. So, and he's funny with some of his stand-up. Oh, he stole this one joke. Oh no, there's actually two jokes. Two jokes? That's all you got? I mean, there is such a thing as, people thinking alike, and let's say, and I get it, I've seen those videos, maybe he did, maybe he saw it and didn't remember it. Oh, CTE, right, guys? God, I'm so fucking tired. I'm sorry. If you're my typical fan that watches all my conspiracy theory things, please know that I'm a big fan of all of the Rogan family. I'm critical as well, and I like to talk shit, I like to troll, but not like these guys. These guys make careers out of it, and that's what Brendan Schaub is really talking about. These guys need to come up with their own content, create your own content, and it's okay being, commenting on other people's content and being hypercritical, but at least be original. Okay, if I hear one more freaking joke about how Brendan Schaub has CT, which he does not, it's obvious. Brendan, if you're listening to this, by the grace of God, understand me, my man. You are fine. They're trying to mind fuck you. Okay, these are trolls, and you know this already. You say this out loud, but sometimes you just need somebody else to reaffirm it to you, and that's what I'm trying to do here, to reassure you. You are fine. I've watched you for years, and I do not see anything that's abnormal. Okay, you speak better than most people, including this doofus right here that's about to try to go off on you. And I don't even know this guy's. Let me see, what's his name? Agostino Zinga Show. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I just want to point out it's very easy to be hypercritical of people, and point and laugh, and with lies nonetheless, and that's what these people are doing now. Brendan Schaub is finally striking back, but I think he's doing it. Well, I'll talk about that later, and that's in regard to uniqueness. He used to be a Super Saiyan or whatever. I've followed him too, and I like his channel. I like all of it, but sometimes you guys go a little too far, like trying to break up my man's family and trying to break him down, like literally with lies. The subreddit, that's bullshit, and we're gonna get into that here in a second. It's not as bad as you think. I'm gonna count how many people are actually participating, and I better see 50 fucking thousand people participating. Okay. With that said, guys, donate if you want to by checking the description box down below. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Like, subscribe, share. And again, this is going to be a new series. I'm going to be dedicating a new episode each time I see somebody talking shit about my man Schaub. Again, the show is going to be called Simping for Schaub. Maybe the Simping for Schaub show. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, guys, again, subscribe, like, share, follow, comment down below. And let's dive into this show right now. And I'm going to jump in every couple of seconds and pause it just so I can drop some commentary, let's just say.
This is courtesy of the Fright and the Kids subreddit, of course, and I just wanted to quickly mention this because I'm a big fan of Brendan Schaub on this podcast.
First off, Mr. ODB, clear your fucking throat, bro. How are you gonna talk shit about my man? And I've already kind of pre-watched part of this, so I know where you're gonna be going here in a second. So understand how you gonna be talking all this trash about how he talks when you sound like Kermit the fucking Frog, man. And not only that, you mumble, and I can barely understand half of the fucking shit you're saying. And this is just being legit. Brendan Schaub sounds way more. I mean, let's just be honest. You sound fucking stupid, dude. All right, you don't have CT, do you? I'm just asking, man. Did you play sports? Did you ever get punched in the face? I think it's CT. Let's continue.
I heard him mention something, or I saw this clip on the Fire and the Kids subreddit. Wait.
Well, which is it? You heard him say something or you saw a fucking clip? But I'm imagining you saw a clip of him saying something. So is it or and? You see how easy that is to be super hypercritical of somebody? Now, you're going to notice here, guys, in a little bit, this guy's going to be hypercritical of the most mundane things, like one word out of a whole fucking sentence. Have you ever heard Schaub read his fucking reads? He does excellent. Let's continue.
Where he essentially bemoans, haters and haters, as he likes to say.
Okay, wait a minute. I didn't hear a difference between the two haters. He said haters and haters, like he likes to say. I mean, wait, what? And what's up with these glasses, man? These white glasses. It looks like I was kind of scrolling through some of your other videos. It looks like some of these, this is your thing. White glasses. I mean, is that your fantasy, like jizz colored glasses? I mean, are you trying to hint to people something? And that sweater, man, I could smell the weed coming off of it. Is that the point of the glasses, to hide the fucking weed eyes? I mean, I'm not against weed. I smoke weed too, but God knows I don't fucking repeat myself like that. Anyway, let's continue.
Ian talks about how they don't have a life and how they're losers and blah, 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 blah. The common soundbite that kind of comes from a guy like that. And it just got me.
That kind of soundbite, that. Like, what? What? I've never heard Brendan sound that bad. And I get your English, man. And in a little bit, you're going to hear this guy try to fucking make up for that. And try to use that even to his advantage. Like, I can understand it from people from a foreign country. Dude, your main language is English.
Thinking overall, why is it people like him, and I think Joe Rogan to some extent, I don't think he does it a lot because I think he's smart enough to not always kind of poke that haters are losers and sort of stuff, because at the end of the day, it's just going to bring unnecessary, trolls to your account. You don't want to keep telling people that they're idiots who watch you because, they're going to come out and start saying stuff. So just leave it alone. And I think for the most part, he's aware that he doesn't have that many haters, really. He has people that want to cancel him, especially in the mainstream media, because he makes a lot of money. But for the most part, he's not really got haters the way that Brendan does. People.
Where has this motherfucker been hiding for the past fucking 2, 3, maybe even 4 years now? Joe Rogan doesn't have that many haters, as many as Brendan Schaub. The only reason you are here right now talking shit about Brendan Schaub is because of all the hate for Joe Rogan that has spilt over to everybody surrounding his life. Look what they did to Brian Callen. Look what they did. I mean, I don't want to go down this list or this road, but good God, man, where have you been the past couple of years? Or are you just delusional? Or are you just... I don't get it. Are you just trying to make content here? I mean, fuck me. I never heard such a claim, dude. Brendan Schaub has like maybe 5,000 haters max. Joe Rogan has probably about like 50 million. Let's continue.
Legitimately don't like Brendan. He probably represents everything they hate in society in terms of being, not very good at his job, but still immensely successful and rich and all this stuff. I don't know what it is, but there.
So I don't know what he was saying at the end there. It was very mumbled and jumbled, and I just really couldn't figure it out. But I think I caught the gist of what he was trying to say just off the first couple of words that I understood. Basically, what this guy is trying to say is that the reason he hates him is for all of that shit that he said at the very beginning. This is a very personal thing, and he's trying to attribute it to everybody else of why they hate him. Let me tell you something, buddy. The guy doesn't have as many haters haters as you think. Only losers, and people like you. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying it just seems. 'Cause I mean, who dedicates their life to hating somebody so much like that? It's weird. Let's continue.
There is something underlying about him as a person that people despise to the core, that they just can't stop reminding themselves why they hate him so much, and it's so visceral. And it's made me question, because I think to myself, hasn't he ever wondered in his brain why people hate him so much? Like, there's a 50, I think at the last point of checking, if I'm not mistaken, the Fire and the Kids subreddit is at 56,000 plus people, right? Again, a lot of those people are grandfathered in because they were fans of the show, but originally when they joined the subreddit. But as Ariel Hawani so eloquently mentioned one time, those guys initially, most of the mentioned guys, were definitely fans of the show first.
So I'm gonna stop talking shit about the guys mumbling and how we can't understand him, because obviously he doesn't have a very good grasp on the English language, even though he's from fucking England. But I digress. Either way, what I'm gonna say here is he defeats his own argument with the rest of his sentence, or the rest of his little statement here. So, like, the people were grandfathered in. When's the last time you unsubscribed or unfollowed or whatever it is you do on these subreddits? When's the last time you've done that? Go check how many things you're following, and I bet you it's a list that's beyond 1,000, and some things you don't even fucking haven't seen in whatever, right? Probably that's what's going on over here. You know, you get subscribers and they kind of just forget about you, don't watch your videos, don't interact with you, but they just kind of maintain as a subscriber. So at the very most or least, these people just don't watch the show no more, or don't participate in the Reddit. I mean, it's not that hard to understand. And as you see how much Brendan Schaub has grown in popularity and in everything, it kind of would make people understand. You would think that he is not a hated man, not in the least. So again, the show's called the Simping for Schaub show. That's what I'm going to name it. And I'm going to start with Schaub because that guy has, you know, ridiculous haters. Not a lot of them, but the ones he have are obviously people that were bullied by somebody that looked a lot like a Brendan Schaub. Let's continue.
So they started out as fans, and then his personality was so grating that they then turn into haters. Now, I know a lot of the subreddits of podcasts do end up being that way. I think a good example is Call Her Daddy. There was a point when the Call Her Daddy subreddit was full of praise. The Bon Appetit, the YouTube channel, same sort of thing. They were full of praise for the people that hosted that show, and then it turns. But usually it turns because of, you know, for a reason. It doesn't turn out of the blue. The Call Her Daddy, it turned because the girls ended up having a falling out, and, you know, that drama ensued. People had to pick their sides. And the Bon Appetit thing, same sort of thing, right? They had a big scandal there in terms of representation, all this sort of stuff, and people, response to it, you know, basically dictated who fell in what lane, who fell in what camp. You know, basically that's what happened.
I don't know what those channels were that he was talking about. Never heard of them, so I don't know what happened to them. And as far as, you know, how he says it, so that's what happened. I don't really understand what happened, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip this part and continue with the story.
So there's always a turn, there's always an event. And I feel like sometimes if you're conscious enough, there's two ways to go about it. Either you just ignore it completely, these communities, like Joe Rogan does. I don't think he probably has checked his subreddit ever in his life. He just doesn't care. Probably has somebody filtering back some stuff that he needs to know about. Cool. Or you do like a Lex Friedman and you police your own subreddit. I think Lex Friedman set up his own subreddit. He bans people all the time on there if you don't say nothing he likes on there. And for the most part, it's very policed. It's like, obviously people are like, you know, it's strict. If you say too many things that kind of divert or kind of, you know, sound a bit hatey, they'll kind of take you out straight away. But to kind of suddenly say everyone that comments on you or that has anything bad to say about you is a loser, it's just strange. It's really strange. And again, I just think, because there's so many people on that subreddit, has it ever, do you think, crossed his mind to think, why do they hate me? And is there anything that I could do? Or is there anything that they're saying that's got merit? Don't get me wrong. I don't think he should go on the subreddit and try to win people over. That's never going to happen, because at this point, he's a lolcow, in the same way that Wings and DSP and these kind of guys, right? DSP are the ones I kind of dark side feel I hate the most in terms of being a terrible content creator out there and somebody who clearly.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize this guy was that bad. And if this guy is listening, enunciate your words, my man. Do you have CT? All jokes aside. I mean, or is it just something you were born with? Speech impediment? Is it you're high? I don't get it. I'm struggling here. But I kind of caught some of that. So you're asking if you ever wonder, if he wonders why people hate him so much. No, because he just explained to you, as you explained, that they're haters. He knows why people, or these people, I should say, hate him. Because they're bona fide haters. Look at you. I mean, everybody has haters, dude. I mean, it's not that hard to see and to think that based upon the hater's opinion of somebody, that person is actually hated by the whole world is probably one of the most silliest, precious little things I've ever heard of.
He's scamming and taking advantage of his kind of fans and their generosity. But in general, when you see Wings get on live stream and try and talk to his fans or try and talk to his distractors about stuff, it doesn't necessarily work. Now, it does, obviously, a lot of those guys, their personalities and the lack of accountability and the lack of self-awareness just grating, right? Especially Wings Redemption. Like, there's nothing that he can always explain everything away. Everything was because he was young, because he was a shock jock. He never takes responsibility for anything. Even just the other day, I saw a video of Wings Redemption saying that he basically the only reason why he's so fat and overweight, I think he's like 470 pounds, is because he drinks too much soda. Supposedly he thinks he.
Okay, so obviously I'm being hypercritical of this guy, and I can kind of, I can understand him pretty good, right? I'm sure y'all can too. But did anybody else think he was talking about Brendan Schaub there? I was like, 470, what? But I guess he's talking about this Wings of whatever, Madness or whatever guy. So anyway, just thought I'd share that real quick. It's just kind of weird. I didn't understand what he was trying to say there. So
he thinks he put on 40 pounds just because of soda alone. And it's like, bruv, you're on live stream all the time. We just saw a video of you the other day eating a pizza at 4 a.m. in the morning. Don't you think that contributed to your 40 pounds? But anyway, this is a clip of Brendan basically talking about the haters and saying how he doesn't get them and they're all whatever losers. Let's play the clip.
Now, this part had me dying. So pay attention to this guy's reactions as Brendan Schaub is describing the haters and their lives and how they live in their mom's basements. And I want you to pay attention to how each of these fucking insults hits this motherfucker in the heart. Like, legit, dude, you guys gotta see this. It's the funniest thing. Like, Brendan Schaub is probably dead on, at least with this guy. I digress. Let's watch this guy's reactions. You guys are gonna be dying laughing. I'll let you guys hear what Brendan is saying, but watch what this guy does and how he reacts. Like he's getting shot with arrows.
Like you're just imagine the biggest loser in your school, just the negative kid. If you're walking down the hallway and he's like, cool shoes, you're like, excuse me? You're the worst kid in the school, dude. You wouldn't give a fuck. But now all those losers have a place to, like, oh, I'm a loser, you're a loser, let's get together, So they have a tribe,
You also said hurt people. So I mean, who knows what they're going through, but still stop doing this.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, stop doing this.
It doesn't matter. It's just not a winner's mentality. You're never going to get out of your mom's basement doing this stuff. You got to get out of there. Get a girl.
Do something.
Do anything.
Challenge yourself, yeah.
Yeah, create your own content, man. Do your own shit, whatever it is, man.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Now, does this guy realize that Brendan Schaub is not talking directly to him? I don't think Brendan Schaub even knows who you are. Did you get sued recently? Because if not, then he probably doesn't know who you are. And on that, Brendan Schaub, you should be suing him for slander and all that stuff, and maybe defamation of character, causing damages to your marriage, all kinds of stuff, man. The lies that he has put out there and put out there as factual, that's an iffy, and it's going to be hard to prove in court. Probably not worth it, but I would go with that instead of copyright infringement. But anyway, that's the uniqueness that we're going to be going over here in the next video. So subscribe, like, share, follow, and all that. But let's get back to the video.
Weird thing to say, I think, because it's not. I'm a fairly well-adjusted human. I have a job. I stay in my own place, not my parents' basement. I've had girls. I've got girls. I've got.
Cap. He's capping, y'all. I mean, come on. Does anybody believe that? I mean, for you guys, I don't know what capping mean. It means liar, liar, pants on fire. You live in your mom's basement. You ain't got no chick. You got a job that's probably part-time and you're struggling, my dude. This is probably your part-time job. 13,000 subs, which is good, but you ain't breaking the bank, not in the least bit. You're living with your mom. Let's just be honest. You're living in the basement. Maybe not even a basement. You might just have a room upstairs somewhere that's probably 10 feet by 10 feet with a twin bed in it, a fucking 26-inch TV, and you're right now fucking hanging out in a corner of your room. Anyway, let's continue.
I've got friends. I've got a social group. Like, I don't understand this idea that everyone that's commenting negative things or maybe calling you out on your BS online is somehow a, Cheeto dust fingered, wings of redemption looking like neckbeard. It's not the truth. Like, this is, when you put that content online, you have to expect to get positive and negative reactions. It's just going to happen. It just is what it is. If you talk about enough stuff online, myself included, people are going to have either a positive or a negative reaction to you, or a non-plus reaction. Just keep it moving. But if they want to say something back, it doesn't mean that they are now, especially if it's negative, that it's immediately invalid. And it immediately means that person's a loser. It immediately means what they have to say has no worth, that they're a homeless cat. Like, no, that's not how the life goes. And nowadays,
oh, but it does though. You see, it does mean that. To Brendan Schaub, all that shit has no worth. I'm sure Brendan is fully aware that some other loser, okay, thinks that your opinion is valid. That your mother thinks that your opinion is valid. And yes, I stutter. I'm not saying I'm perfect. You can be hypercritical of me. My problem and my biggest problem and complaint is y'all being so hypercritical of my man. And you're trolling him. You're doing it purposely, hoping that he breaks. And it's a show for you. This is entertainment for you. And honestly, I think he handles it rather well. And I just pray that it's not just a front. But let's continue.
I don't think, especially with the access and the ease of which you can comment on things, you can downvote, you can like, you can share, you can quote tweet. It doesn't take too long to, grab your phone whilst you're in a meeting or on Zoom or in the toilet and just quickly leave a comment. Say, oh, that's a dumb clip, Brendan.
No, that's a stupid thing to say. I mean, a minute ago, and he knows it, because a minute ago he was just saying, don't engage the trolls. And now he's saying that Brendan Schaub should be downvoting motherfuckers, like he ain't got nothing better to do with his fucking thick boy network or whatever the fuck it's called. I mean, come on, man. He's gonna be downvoting and commenting, that clip sucks, and then you guys can just take that fucking troll food and scarf it down. Give me a break, man. You just fucking said in the beginning of this, don't feed the trolls. Not like that, obviously, but I mean, you were saying Joe Rogan doesn't, and Brendan Schaub, and now you're saying that he should. Make up your mind, CT.
Brendan sounds like an idiot. Why can't he pronounce walk? Why does he think there's a river that runs through the Amazon? Like, it's easy to just comment those things and just say it. It doesn't require any brain power. And I think a lot of people who are on that subreddit aren't people who are unemployed, aren't people who are starving, aren't people who are, sexless and don't fag jigs, as this guy says. Like, no, they're just regular guys that don't like you as a person.
Wait, the Amazon doesn't have a river in it? What the fuck? I'm gonna have to Google that real quick. I could have swore there was some type of river in the Amazon, but anyway, who cares? Who cares? We all say dumb shit.
And for whatever reason, he's never wrangled with the idea about why he's not liked. Because I think in general, in my opinion, I've always thought the actual best content that creators out there, I think of people like them or hate them, the Paul brothers, right? I think the reason why they're so good at what they do is because they're aggressively, ferociously self-aware. Like, they know exactly why people don't like them. And for the most part, they double down and lean into it. but they know why. They're aware why people don't like them. I think to some extent, you could say maybe Jake has made more of an, is it Jake the older one? Whoever the older one is, he's made more of an adjustment to kind of be more likable, right? But the younger one is still like, you know, on the line, trolling people, saying crazy shit. Like, he doesn't care because he's not, but I'm sure he's aware why people don't like him, and he's lead into it and monetized it for himself. But for whatever reason, this redact can't do it. He's incapable of doing it, to the point where now he's got this approach when it comes to content creation where he doesn't look at comments. I don't read comments. I don't do this. I don't do that. No, you should read your comments, brother. You should maybe see what people are saying. You should maybe gauge how people are responding to your shows. Maybe gauge what they don't like, what they did like. Like, it might help and inform what you're doing. And I've always...
Okay, this is probably going to be my last little clip here, or my last little monologue, whatever you want to call it. So this guy is saying that Brendan Schaub is not reading the comments, and he should be reading the comments to get, you know, feedback and to help his... What the fuck are you talking about? Does Brendan Schaub not look like a man that has been on Rogan more times and on Ridiculousness more times than any other person? I mean, think about what the fuck you're saying. He's not you. He doesn't need to engage the trolls. Neither does Rogan. You do, because it helps drive up views. It helps create in the algorithm some interest. He doesn't need that kind of interest, because all of that negativity just goes and grows like a fucking black mold. You know what I mean? It's stupid, that this advice you're giving him. Now, I'm not saying I have good advice ever or for him or anything like that, but to say that he should be in the comment section reading everybody, you know how many comments he gets? He's a busy fucking man. He's got a team for that. You see how many people he has in that fucking big ass studio he just bought or rents or whatever? You see how many people he has employed there? I mean, come on, dude. What the fuck are you thinking? You think Brendan Schaub sits on the toilet and he's going to be fucking... He has a life, too, to boot. And a good one at that. Better than yours, I can guarantee. So, sorry this video's a little rough. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. My next videos, and try to make them a little more entertaining and shorter, a lot shorter. I just wanted to start off with this big one because it really gave me a headache, this guy.
Always said from the beginning, I think if he would just be more aware and lean into it from the beginning, from the onset, I think this whole trouble started from that AMA and how negative responded to that. And maybe, you know, yeah, maybe it was started the negative turn when he shared that story about him throwing his teammate they used to play football with through a glass window or whatnot, right? Got Kudus through a window. Maybe that was the whole point, but he never at one point kind of realized or kind of came to some sort of conclusion as to, or maybe just thought about it for a second, like, why do people hate me? It never ever crossed his mind. And it's just funny that for whatever reason, especially that LA podcasting scene, especially the people within the Rogan's orbit, they seem to have this idea that if they put out content and people don't like it, it's because they're haters. And if they're haters, it means that they're unemployed losers that don't have sex with women. It's like, what? Like, can't I just like not like you're special? Can I just not think you're funny? Can I think humping a chair isn't comedy? Can I think maybe you have some redacted opinions? Am I just allowed to say that, just move on and just continue my day, go on to my job, go back to my family? Like, it's pretty easy to do. We see Brendan doing all the time. Whenever we see pictures of him and his family and video hanging around, he's always on his phone. It's easy to be on your phone and just be around your family or doing your work or at your job and still throw an opinion out there. It's not that difficult. I never understand why he says these kind of things. It's really bizarre. Really, really bizarre. And then the other thing I wanted to quickly mention was this clip about his inability to say repercussions. And for whatever reason, he says repercussions. Oh, his face is super inflamed here. But what's this about? The whole mispronunciation of things. Is this, or even me, I just said it badly there. The whole mispronunciation of things. Is this like a consequence of CTE? Does he have a legit speech impediment? And if he does have a speech impediment, I've always found it interesting when people, especially when you meet foreigners who are like learning English, the best ones I love are the ones who like speak English, even though when they're learning English, they speak English with the same veracity and the same fast cadence as they would speak their native tongue. I love that shit. Like, it's like, I don't care, I'm just going to get these words out, you're going to figure it out on the fly. But this guy's not, he's not foreign, he's native speaking English and whatever it may be. He went to college, supposedly, graduated, supposedly, right? why is he incapable of pronouncing normal standard words? Like, I've seen many things. It's like, it blows my mind how he just can't pronounce stuff. And this is him basically talking about, you know, if haters say something and they bump into you on, like, if you bump into a hater, there'll be repercussions. But just hear how he says repercussions. Obviously, you'll see with the clip what it means, but it's just weird, isn't it? How he says it. It's just really weird.
The problem is there's no consequence. Like, if Ari did that to me, you're gonna get your ass whooped. Especially around my kids. There's gonna be repercussions. That's the problem. He knows Bert's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
You do that to Rogan, there's gonna be repercussions.
Yeah.
You do that to Tom, there's probably gonna be repercussions. But Bert's so fun and playful that
Repercussions. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on from that one.
Yeah, so all that just for one fucking word. I mean, obviously my man is just talking quick. I mean, I understood it. Did you understand him? So what the fuck are you complaining about? You understood exactly what he was trying to say. Did you enunciate every single word in this fucking video you made? In all of your videos, does every word come out perfectly? You know how easy it would be for somebody within your small audience, for one or two of those people to fucking be hypercritical? You now imagine Brendan Schaub and Joe Rogan. How many fucking people it's easy for to be hypercritical of them and sit here with stupid fucking glasses, a stupid fucking hairdo, stupid sweater, and a shit-eating grin. That's all I got for you guys. Subscribe, like, share, follow, donate by checking the PayPal description. Checking the description box down below. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Guys, we're all human. We gotta do better. To God be the glory.